HydroFLOW Whole Home Filtration Tutorial. This video applies to the single and double whole home filtration systems. In this video, we will learn how to identify the components of the HydroFLOW Whole Home Single and Double Filtration System, how to assemble and mount the filtration system to a wall, recommended procedures on how a licensed plumber can connect the filtration system to the main water supply line, and how to service and maintain the filtration system. What's in the box? The system includes a stainless steel single or double stage filter assembly. For illustration purposes, these are the components of a double stage filter. A filtration assembly mounting plate with type A Uponor PEX piping, 3 valves, 2 pressure gauges, and 2 filter housing heads, 2 housing bottoms, 2 filters, 2 housing gaskets, 2 mounting brackets, 2 wing nuts, 4 spacer gaskets, 2 centering rods, 2 housing support brackets, 2 swing bolt clamps, and mounting hardware. It's important to know the direction of the water flow into your home so that you have the correct configuration before installing the system. Water flowing from right to left. Water flowing from left to right. And water flowing in and out from the same side. There are 4 common connection options to the system's Type A Uponor PEX piping. Type A to Type A PEX, Type B to Type A PEX, copper to Type A PEX, and galvanized to Type A PEX. The filter system should be installed on the main water line entering your home. Note, if you have an irrigation system, it is recommended to install the filter downstream of the water supply to the irrigation system and/or the backflow preventer to extend filter cartridge life. Installing the wall support bracket and mounting plate. Locate 2 studs, typically 16 to 24 inches apart, and mark the height at least 50 inches up from the floor. Install one of the 2-inch by 8-inch wall support brackets vertically on each stud using the supplied screws or appropriate hardware for your specific application. Ensure the bent portion is pointing up and away from the wall. Hang the filtration assembly mounting plate on the 2 wall support brackets. Installing filter cartridges and housings. Remove the filter assembly mounting plate and place it on a stable surface. Thread a cartridge centering rod into each filter head. At the crimped section of the rod, use a crescent wrench to tighten it into the filter head. On each filter, slide a white spacer gasket and appropriate filter cartridge onto the centering rod and run them up to the filter head. Keep each cartridge centered while installing the other white spacer gasket and wing nut to secure the cartridge in place. If the filter cartridge has a rubber gasket as shown, ensure the white spacer gasket is seated on top of it. For this example, stage 1 is a carbon block and stage 2 is a force field. Ensure the silicone gasket is in the groove at the top of each bottom housing. Slide the housings over the filter cartridges while applying pressure on the bottom of the housing to hold the gasket in place. Secure each housing to the filter head with a swing bolt clamp. The swing bolt should be hand tightened. Hang the complete filtration assembly on the 2 wall support brackets. Install the housing support bracket by sliding the bracket up below each filter housing as shown. Mark the wall where the support bracket lines up with the bottom of each housing. Fix the support bracket to the wall using the provided hardware. Making the final plumbing connections. A licensed plumber is required when connecting the filter system to your main water line. Turn off the main water supply and relieve the pressure by opening a faucet at the lowest elevation of the home. Ensure the water heater is turned off. An electric water heater's breaker must be de-energized and a gas water heater's gas supply must be closed. Close all valves to the water heater to isolate it and avoid siphoning. Note, have a bucket and towels ready to catch any excess water that might be in the pipe when cut. Install the appropriate adapters and piping to connect the filter system to the main water line. Before turning the water supply back on, close all valves on the filtration system and be sure to close the faucet that was previously opened. Turn on the main water supply and check for leaks. Open the bypass valve to pressurize the plumbing system and check for leaks. Open the inlet and outlet valves on the filter system. Then close the bypass valve. Open the water supply valves to the water heater. Purge air from the system by opening all faucets one at a time until all air is removed from the lines. To remove any fine carbon particles, flush the filters by opening a faucet and letting it run for 2 minutes. Turn on the water heater. Open a bathroom and a kitchen faucet all the way and leave the water flowing. Document the baseline inlet and outlet pressures that are displayed on each gauge. Note the pressure difference between the gauges should be minimal. How to determine if the filter cartridges need to be replaced. Depending on the quality of the water, the filter cartridges need to be replaced every 6 months or so. To determine if the filter cartridges need replacement, follow these steps. Open a bathroom and a kitchen faucet all the way and leave the water flowing. Look at the pressure gauges and compare the difference between the inlet and outlet pressures. If the pressure difference is more than 30% or 15 psi, the filters are due for replacement. How to replace the filter cartridges. Replacing the filter cartridges is a do-it-yourself job, but if you're uncomfortable, hiring a plumber is recommended. Close the inlet and outlet valves. Place a bucket under each drain valve and have towels ready to catch any spills. Open the drain valve on each housing. Remove the air vent screw to drain the housings. Ensure the air vent screw gasket remains in place. Once the water has finished draining, reinstall the air vent screw with gasket and close the drain valves. If utilizing the housing support bracket, ensure it's in place before proceeding. Remove the swing bolt clamp from the housing to separate it from the filter head. Ensure the housing is supported during the step to avoid damage. Supporting the housing can be done by the housing support bracket or an additional person. Carefully remove the housing to expose the filter cartridge. Remove the wing nut from the bottom of the filter cartridge, then slide the cartridge off of the support rod. Install the new cartridge by sliding a white spacer gasket and the cartridge up over the support rod. If the filter cartridge has a rubber gasket as shown, ensure the white spacer gasket is seated on top of it. Ensure the silicone gasket is in the groove at the top of the housing and slide the housing up over the filter cartridge. Utilize the housing support bracket or an additional person to hold the housing in place. Secure the housing to the filter head with the swing bolt clamp. The swing bolt should be hand tightened. Repeat this process for the second filter. After replacing the filter cartridges, ensure the air vent screw, swing bolt clamps, and drain valves are closed and secure. Slowly open the inlet valve, then slowly open the outlet valve to purge the air from the filter housings. To remove any fine carbon particles, flush the filters by opening a faucet and letting it run for 2 minutes. This concludes the HydroFLOW Whole Home Filtration tutorial. Thank you.